So in today's video, guys, we are going to be taking a look at the new best controller settings that you need to be using right now here in Black Ops 7. With the movement being crazy and how fast-paced this game is, you need to have the best aim possible, and that's why I got you covered. So if you guys are new and find this video help you out in any way, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let's get into it. So now getting into the good stuff here, we have our button layout and stick layout for the first thing in our controller settings, which I have mine at default just because I do play on the PlayStation 5 Edge controller. I love this thing. I think it is the best controller that I've ever used. No kidding. It's a very good controller. And also in this video, in the last part, I will leave my Edge controller settings in the last part of the video. So if you want to check that out, if you use an Edge controller here. But I do have buttons and everything on the back of my controller, so I just keep these at default and everything. So nothing to change there. But the main thing is our horizontal and vertical sensitivity here, which I have it at 1.85. Now, last year in Black Ops 6, I did have this at 1.65, which I definitely did bring it up a crazy amount this year just because of, you know, how crazy the game is. The wall jumping, the fast movement, and everything like that. I want to be able to look around a lot faster, you know, snap onto my targets a little bit faster this year. So I went with a 1.85 this year, and I think that's going to be the normal this year. A little bit of a higher sensitivity. So 1.85, I haven't had any problems with it. I think it's really good. So try it out. Get used to it, and I think you guys are going to be shooting absolute accurate, like super accurate, so make sure to copy those down. Now, we do have our controller vibration. This is one thing that is going to help you win more gunfights, turning the vibration off. A lot of things in this game cause a vibration if it's a door opening up, like, you know, getting bashed open, explosives, your gun shooting and everything. You don't want to be in a gunfight, your controller starts spazzing, it make you miss your shots, lose a gunfight. So small things like that can make you a better player, so make sure to have controller vibration off. If you need help leveling up your guns or account, or if you need help with your camo challenges in Black Ops 7, check out MMO EXP. You can go use my code Paradox for 8% off on your next order. They are trusted by thousands around the world, and you can go check them out in the top part of the description. Now, jumping into the Deadzone inputs, this is very important for just having very good, healthy analog sticks and also making you a better player here. We have our left stick at 3 and 65. Now, what this is going to do is going to make it easier to start your movements and just have better movement in general. You're not having to press down hard, you're not having to press up as much on your left stick. This right here, these settings 3 and 65, I'm telling you, if you copy these down, your movement is going to be a lot more swifter, a lot easier to start and everything. I'm telling you, with movement being very important now in Call of Duty, have that on. I'm telling you, it is going to help out so much. Now, for my right stick, we have it at 4 and 99. Now, my right stick is kind of low. It could be lower, but I just have it at 4 just because, you know, just in case there is any drift whatsoever in your controller or my controller, it's not going to be as bad. I don't want my controller aiming for myself, really. I don't want it to be moving around or anything like that for my aiming. So I do have it at 4. If I do drop it, there could be some drift there, but I think 4 is a good spot. And then for your max, you're not going to drop it whatsoever. You're going to keep it at 99. Now, for our L2 button Deadzone and R2 button Deadzone, we have it at 0. We do not want any Deadzone on that. We want it to just be super sensitive, so it's easier on your aiming, it's easier on your shooting, it's going to be a lot more faster if you're just barely pressing them down, so it's going to be easier for your aiming and shooting, which is really nice. Now, going into our aiming settings, we did change up a few things here from our last settings video since it's, you know, the game's been out for a little bit now. Now, for my sensitivity multipliers, our ADS sensitivity multiplier is going to be 0.70 now. I did drop it down a little bit. You know, I want it to be easier on me when I'm aimed down sights. I can track my targets and everything if they're wall jumping, if they're just running around, sliding around, being all crazy crackhead. People are crazy at the game now, so you definitely want to have good tracking. So I did drop this down. It is going to help out a lot with that, and also the ADS sensitivity multiplier when focused. This is good as well if you use focusing a lot in your gunfights. Now, for our aiming advanced settings here, we're going to make sure to have our ADS sensitivity transition timing on instant. Now, what this is going to do, as soon as you aim down sights, your ADS sensitivity multiplier is dropping down instantly down to 0.70, and that's very important in your gunfights. Again, for the tracking in your gunfights and everything. I will say lowering our ADS sensitivity multiplier down, and with the target aim assist being not as crazy in this game, it definitely does make it the aim assist feel a lot stronger doing that, so that's a nice thing to have. So instant is going to be very important. Now, aim response curve type, I do have it on linear. I think linear is the best one, and this is where people start arguments. Dynamics the best, standard's the best, linear's the best. I just think linear is the best. I've been using it for about a year and a half now, and I have to say my aim has been absolutely on point. So I have it on linear. You know, this could be preference at the end of the day, but if you've seen the gunfights, if you've seen my gameplays in my gunfights and everything like that, my aim is spectacular. I mean, we're gonna gloat a little bit here. My aim is pretty good. Have it on linear here, and we are gonna press square and put our slope scale type down to 0.85. So this is gonna help out a little bit more with the aim response curve type being a little bit more swift and smooth and everything. So make sure to have it on linear. Make sure to have the slope scale down to 85. Now, make sure you do have targeted aim assist on. If you're on controller and you don't have aim assist on, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. If you're playing without aim assist on a controller, what are you doing? That's all I gotta say. I don't know what you're doing. Make sure to have target aim assist on. That is very important. Next here, we do have our movement settings. Now, we have our sprint assist. We are going to make sure to have tactical sprint assist on. Our delay is going to be 0, and our assist sideways and backwards is going to be on. This is going to be easier to start your omni movement jumping backwards, and if you're jumping left and right, make sure to have those on. That is very helpful with that. Corner slicing, I like to have it on. Some people don't. I like to be able to lean over a little bit. There's a lot of credit corners in this game, so if you're doing the corner slicing, they're not going to be able to see you. You can see them. Free kills. I love having corner slicing on. I mean, the maps this year are amazing, but there is a lot of credit corners, like on Homestead, Nuketown, there's some credit corners and everything, so having corner slicing on is just very helpful in my opinion. Slide and dive behavior, I do have on slide only. I don't really care about diving this year. Last year I was, doing the diving, but with the wall jumping and everything in the game now, I only slide to just be able to do the slide cancel and everything. So that is the only thing that I really do, is just slide and then do the wall jumping. Now, we are going to jump into our movement advanced settings. Now, this is very important that you change. It's our tactical sprint activation. Now, by default, there is no tactical sprint by default like there has been for the previous couple Call of Duties. It's just a normal sprint. You're just running. So if you're using just running and everything, you're going to put on single tap run. Now, if you are using, the perk that gives you a tactical sprint, you're going to put on single tap sprint. If you don't have it on, just keep it on single tap run or change it. I think default is single tap sprint. You're going to want to put this on single tap run. It is going to make it easier to start your runs and everything. So that is something also that's very important. And then we're going to jump into our graphic settings here. Make sure to have our 120 hertz refresh rate on. If you have it available, make sure to have that on. Quality, we are going to turn the world motion blur, weapon motion blur, and depth of field off. We do not want the game looking blurry or anything whatsoever, any grain, any blurriness. We want the game to look nice, clean, and sharp. Fidelity cast is going to be on. This is going to make the game look nice and sharp. And we're going to put our fidelity cast strength on 80. Do not go any higher than 80. It will make the game look too grainy, too nasty looking. We do not want that. You can make a game look too sharp, which isn't good. You want it to be the right sharpness, which I will say, after playing, for 30, 40 hours already in the game, which is kind of insane, 80 is the best one to use. Now, if you're on console here, this will make your game look a lot better. I don't know if Xbox has this feature. I know PS5 does, but our on-demand texture streaming, we're going to have it on optimized. We're going to have the texture cache size on the largest as possible, and there's not going to be any download limit on the game. What this is going to do, it is going to constantly download the best textures for the game. So the game's going to look super nice on console. I get a lot of comments saying, are you on PC? How is your quality so good on console and everything? This is it right here. I don't know if it's exactly like that, but I will say the fidelity cast and the on-demand texture streaming is the most important thing to make your console look really good. And then we have our view settings here. Our field of view FOV is going to be 115. Now, unless you have some crazy bird vision or something like that, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between 115 and 120. And there is a chance of delay if you max out at 120, so don't do that. Just keep it at 115. ADS field of view and weapon field of view, we're going to have it on affected and wide. What this is going to do is when you aim down sights in your weapons, the weapon is going to look smaller, but also the camera isn't zooming in. So if a weapon has a lot of recoil, muzzle flash or visual recoil, it's not going to look that bad because our weapon looks smaller, and also our camera isn't zooming in when we aim down sight. So that is very helpful. And then we have our first person camera movement. We're going to put this down to least at 50%. What this is going to do, it's going to minimize the camera shaking, so the camera shake isn't going to be that bad. And also we do have it on third person camera movement. I mean, I don't play third person, but there is a couple people that do that also, so make sure to change those things as well. Now, we are going to skip our audio because that is nothing part of our video here today. So we do have our interface settings, and we're only going to change a couple things here that I want to show you. We do have our safe area. Make sure to have this as small as possible. You want the square, the outline white square, to be small as possible. You want all the action to be as close to the center of the screen as possible, so make sure to have the square as small as possible. We do have our crosshairs on. This is very important also. Make sure to have our crosshair lines on. We want to have it on. I have the spread on as well. The crosshair dot is going to be static here. Press square, crosshair dot scale. We're going to put this on the larger one, not the largest. Largest is too big. Larger is perfect. It's going to show you the center dot of the map. Like the screen is going to show you the center of the screen. This is going to help with your centering. This is the main thing that's going to help you be a better Call of Duty player in any first-person shooter game, really. Centering is the most important thing. You need to know where the center of the screen is, and that dot is going to show you that. The opacity is going to be 100, and we also changed the color here, and we have it at green, and the color code is 19FF00 if you want to copy it down. Now, this color, you are not going to be able to miss it if it's a bright map, if it's a dark map. You are going to see your crosshairs at all time, no matter the brightness, the darkness, the color of the map. It does not matter. But these are the controller settings that you need to copy down right now here in Black Ops 7 if you're trying to drop higher kill games, have better accuracy, win more gunfights, get tactical nukes. These are the settings you need to copy down. But again, if you are new and find this video help you out in any way, make sure that like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Now we're done with our Black Ops 7 controller settings. Now it's time to jump into our PlayStation 5 controller settings if you're using the PlayStation 5 Edge controller. Now, to get there, you are going to go to your settings. If you don't know how to do it, some people probably know how to do it already. We are going to go down to our accessories. Now, we're going to go into our DualSense Edge wireless settings here, and we're going to click custom profiles. Now, I already have a Call of Duty profile already. We're going to click this. Now, the only ones that I have changed is the stick sensitivity and Deadzone. So that's the only thing that I've changed here. Now, what we're going to do is we have our left stick. We're going to have it on quick. This is going to allow for movement and our left stick to perform very quickly. For my right stick, I have done the same thing, quick. My aim is going to be quick. Me looking around, the Deadzone is just going to be very quick on my right stick. With what we have in the PlayStation controller and in Black Ops 7, it's just going to be super quick, which is nice. Now for my trigger Deadzones, I went ahead and applied the same for L2 and R2. From is going to be 0 and 2 is going to be 30. So my controller triggers are very sensitive. You have these settings in the PlayStation settings, and also in Call of Duty, it's just very sensitive. I will say, and I'm telling you, if you do not have an Edge controller, these are the best controller I've ever used. I've already said that, but I'll say it again. The controller is insane. Those are the only things that I have changed, though, in my PlayStation Edge controller settings, and that's all you need to know here. But if you found this helpful, let me know in the comments, and also let me know what controller you use. I'm kind of curious to know if you're using a custom controller, a standard controller. Just let me know in the comments. But guys, thanks so much for watching again. If you are new, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and I'll see you all in the next one.